Barrister Godson Telewan. I am the counsel for the claimant, Barrister Stanley Abayomi, who brought this matter to court.
Okay, you've seen the judgment of the court today.
Yes.
How do you feel about the judgment, and what is the less in line of your action?
Well, I was in court when the judgment was delivered. I think the judge, in his wisdom, has given his judgment. I think I will consult with my clients to know the next line of action to take.
But to you as a legal practitioner, do you think you have window to challenge this ruling?
Yes, I think there is a window to challenge the ruling. You understand me? Because in as much as I respect the judge so much, I think there are certain aspects of this judgment I don't agree with the judge with. You understand?
So by so doing,
because the judgment today, basically, the judge resolved two issues today, which were on jurisdiction. Firstly, the judge said my client lacked the local standard, that the only person who can institute or challenge the appointment of chairman and members of RSIEC, that power lies, the local standing lies only with the governor, executive governor of Rivers State. That was the first issue on local standing my lord decided. Then on substantive jurisdiction, my lord also held that he lacks the substantive jurisdiction by virtue of Section 1, Sub 1 of the Emergency Powers Act of 1961, that every matter pertaining to emergency can only be determined by the Supreme Court by virtue of that act. So these were basically the two decisions my lord gave today on jurisdiction. And after these decisions, in person, statement made by the way, the court then made some statement by the way concerning the election, given the conduct of the 30th of August 2025 election, some constitutional validity and all that. Let it be known that those were just statements made by the way. They were not part of the judgment of this court today. So basically, this was what transpired in court today.
My name is Monday John Otokwala. I'm the counsel representing PDP in this matter.
Okay, how do you feel about it?
The judgment just delivered by my lord, Honorable Justice DJ Stevens, represents the position of law with respect to the conduct of the local government elections in Rivers State. Let me say from the outset that this is a suit that was filed to stop the conduct of the just conducted local government election in Rivers State. And by extension, it questions the legality of the imposition of emergency rule in Rivers State, the appointment of the sole administrator, the appointment of a RSIEC chairman, and of course, the conduct of local government election in Rivers State. My lord had looked at submissions from respective counsel and affidavit filed in support of the original summons, the counter affidavit of the first to fourth and even fifth defendants, and then has come to the conclusion that first, that the party who filed this action has not shown any sufficient interest in this suit. He has not disclosed in the affidavit in support of his processes that he has an injury he has to suffer, or even a threatened injury he will suffer, assuming that this case is even given in his favor. He has not disclosed any at all. So the judge has said that he has no local standard to have brought this suit in the first place, have not shown sufficient interest in the matter. He is neither a party who was to contest for the just held election. He is also not a political party, and so he has no interest whatsoever to have brought this action. Now, the mere fact that maybe he questions, because his whole argument is that the actions of the president tantamount to breaching sections of the Constitution. But from the available laws we have seen, available authorities we have seen, he has shown no sufficient interest. There's no benefit that will accrue to him, in the first place to have brought this action. And then on the other hand, the judge has also said too that by virtue of that emergency act jurisdiction, that the court lacks jurisdiction, substantive jurisdiction to have entertained this matter. So what it means is that It is only the Supreme Court of Nigeria that has the exclusive jurisdiction, and this exclusive jurisdiction is to every other court in Nigeria to entertain this matter. So what that means is that this suit was wrongly filed here in this court, Rivers State High Court. It ought to have been filed at the Supreme Court, where all the contending issues will have been looked at by the Supreme Court. So that's what the court said. So in a nutshell, the court resolved these issues on two fronts. One, the issue of local standard, whether or not the claimant has the local standard to institute this matter before this court, and two, whether or not the court has the substantive jurisdiction to entertain this matter. And these two issues were resolved against the claimant who filed this matter in this court and in favor of all the defendants on record. So that is the President of Federal Republic of Nigeria is a defendant. Ibas, that is sole administrator, is a defendant. The chairman of RSIEC is a defendant. And then Attorney General of Rivers State also a defendant. And PDP, we are joined by order of court as the fifth defendant in the matter.